Hello everyone, I'm forecaster Jack Sillin here to discuss the severe weather setup for the afternoon of Friday, May 18th, 2018. Looking at GOES East satellite imagery, as always a great place to start when assessing a severe weather setup. We can see we have an upper level low continuing to be present across southern parts of the Rocky Mountains. Southwesterly flow and rising motion out ahead of that are once again going to set up a favorable background environment for severe thunderstorm activity across parts of the high plains here. We're looking from kind of southeastern Wyoming through parts of western Nebraska, eastern Colorado, western Kansas, even as far south potentially as parts of western Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. So this kind of general area right here being set up favorably for severe thunderstorms. You can see there's already some thunderstorm activity ongoing here in parts of Nebraska that is associated with thunderstorms that actually developed last night, and we can see that on HD radar here. If we press the play button, we can put that loop in motion and see a line of storms moving slowly off to the east. This area of thunderstorm activity not currently severe, but as the system kind of evolves to the east a little bit today, and as we get some daytime heating going, we could see a kind of resurgence in the strength of this system. It is also going to help kind of take some of the energy out of the atmosphere, especially behind the line here, where it's you're getting this kind of stratiform, steady rain, cloudiness. So that not helping to destabilize the atmosphere here across parts of Nebraska. But farther south, if we look at some of our radar data from Kansas, you can see that there's not much going on down here. Generally clear skies across parts of Colorado as well. So could see a little bit of a decrease in severe weather potential here across parts of Nebraska, but farther to the south and west and northwest, all systems go for some severe weather. Looking at dew points this morning, you can see we have a very clearly defined dry line once again extending from the front range of the Colorado Rockies down into parts of eastern New Mexico. Again, looking at this very sharp temperature, or the rather dew point contrast between bone dry desert air dew points in the single digits and much more moisture-rich Gulf of Mexico air dew points in the 50s over here. So we'll watch for that dry line to mix out east as daytime heating gets going. That's kind of part of the daily cycle of a dry line, as it starts out in the west here in the early morning hours, and then it kind of jumps off to the east during the afternoon hours. So that will be one of the things helping to focus severe thunderstorm activity. Another is going to be an area of lee low pressure that we saw yesterday, helping to focus storms. So watch for thunderstorms to begin initiating in this area early this afternoon. Looking at some of the ingredients for our setup today, here is the ECMWF's thunderstorm composite map, and we can see plenty of instability. Again, really not worried too much about that. The ECMWF model may not necessarily have picked up too much on that system, that morning convective system that we were just looking at here across parts of Nebraska. So potentially some of these instability values kind of in this area might be a little bit overdone, but again, farther to the west, northwest, and south, all systems go for plenty of instability. Wind profiles expected to continue to be fairly weak. Again, not seeing any strong mid-level winds here. These green vectors, 500 millibar winds, not all that long. We're seeing a little bit stronger upper-level winds today compared to yesterday, so that may help support some discrete supercell activity, especially down in Kansas here. You can see there's plenty of rotational energy in the atmosphere, so southeasterly surface winds becoming southerly in the low to mid levels, becoming southwesterly in the mid levels, and the southwesterly also in the upper levels. So you have some of that rotational energy. It's just going to be a matter of can we get the storms to kind of remain discrete entities as opposed to kind of congealing into blobs like we saw yesterday. Again, here's the shear forecast from the ECMWF model. You can see very little in the way of shear here across the northern part of the kind of area to watch today. But if we click the map to pan down to the south a little bit, you can see that there's definitely some shear enhanced down here in the Kansas to Oklahoma Panhandle area. So this is kind of the area that stands the best chance of seeing more discrete thunderstorm activity, again, near that dry line. And if you get a supercell to kind of take advantage of some of that rotational energy, you could see large hail, potentially even a tornado, in addition to damaging winds. Farther north, where storms are going to more quickly congeal into a linear blob-type structures, damaging winds will be the primary threat in that area. Here's a look at our simulated radar imagery from the HRRR model. Again, don't take this as a too literal forecast for exactly where severe thunderstorms might develop. Rather use it as kind of a tool to get an overview of how the pattern is likely to evolve over the next few hours. So here we are, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. We have that morning convective complex here across parts of Nebraska, continuing to move off to the east. We'll see perhaps a brief uptick in activity kind of along the southern end of that, but overall that system is expected to kind of fall apart as we move into the afternoon. Here is 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, so we're going to start to watch into the early afternoon, or sorry, late afternoon, early evening for severe thunderstorms to begin initiating, and here we are. This is 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central, and we have thunderstorms initiating from southwest or southeastern Wyoming through northeastern Colorado, into parts of Kansas and down into the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles as well. These thunderstorms will move off to the north and east throughout the evening. Again, expecting the best chance of discrete activity farther to the south here, with kind of more blob type structures you can see here developing in the northern part of the risk area. So that's a kind of general overview of what to expect from thunderstorms today. A little bit of the science behind why we're expecting what we are, the different threats down here, including hail and damaging winds, or hail and tornadoes in addition to damaging winds. Much more of a damaging wind threat up in this area, although hail is also definitely possible with these storms. Tornadoes much less likely the farther north you go. So that's it for me for now. I will see if I can get some more updates out on Twitter later this afternoon as storms develop. That's it for me for now. Thanks for watching.